guys, how's it going? It's That Nerd Ryan here, and today we are going to finally be talking about a Marvel movie, and a brand new one at that. I was able to see Black Widow last night. Today's Friday. We're posting this on Monday, but today's Friday. So I was able to see it late last night, and I have to say, I don't know how I feel, honestly. I'm happy that MCU's back with movies. I love the character of Black Widow. I enjoyed all the new characters and stuff like that. But the plot was very mediocre at best, I could say. And the pacing was really weird. That's basically, I saw it with Angie, and that was like the first thing I kind of said when we got in the car. Because I have a thing where I don't talk about the movie until we get into the car. So let's talk about positives, then we'll talk about negatives, then we'll rank it. And then we'll talk about the post-credit scene. So, some positives were, I really liked Red Guardian. I really liked Yelena. I really liked how she's not Natalie Portman. I really liked how Scarlett Johansson played Natasha. The whole opening family scene was great. Really got that, like, Russian spy, Red Dawn, The Americans vibe to it, and it was great. Some of the action sequences were phenomenal. The first fight with Taskmaster was great. The whole Yelena versus Black Widow, great fight. And just most of the fighting sequences was great. And I like the reuse of the fake face. That was really, really cool. To bring that back from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, from Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Just a lot of, like, good callbacks, and it also answered a lot of, like, issues. I don't want to say issues because, like, the MCU is my second favorite franchise next to Star Wars, but, like, some glaring issues that the rest of the MCU movies never really bring up, such as, like, everybody being like, oh, well, we just got you, why can't we get the rest of the Avengers? Or, like, even, like, tier ranking the Avengers where Black Widow's not considered one of the good ones. Where Yelena even goes, yeah, no, we need one of your bigger friends to avenge, one of your bigger friends would avenge you if you die. Oh, we need one of the good ones to come. I mean, I don't think the God of Thunder needs an ibuprofen after falling, and stuff like that. And, like, that was something that I always kind of wanted addressed. I mean, I understand why nobody came in this one because it's right after Civil War. But, like, no, you know, in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, you never hear somebody go, well, why don't we just call on Thor? He'll solve this problem really quick. Or you'll hear, like, I should say, we did get that in Spider-Man Far From Home. But, like, every other movie, especially when it's the big three or whatever, you never hear anybody go, well, why don't we just call on someone else to help us? And that was great that they addressed that. It was great that they finally kind of addressed Budapest. There was a funny joke that I liked in that too. And there, like, a lot of kind of small things. So, like, even the superhero pose thing that was a running joke in it, that was never an issue with me, but my dad actually brought it up right before we saw the movie. He's like, why do all people, or does everybody do that, blah, 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 blah. And we were talking about that, and then all of a sudden in the movie, that's what happens. And they're talking about that, and that made me laugh. So with all the positives out of the way, let's talk about the negatives. The pacing's really, really weird. So what I mean by that is, like, so we get the family scene at the beginning, which is great, and then all of a sudden it's like jumping around way too fast for about a half an hour about, like, people Natasha's here, Yelena's here, now Natasha's here, now Yelena's here, now it's like going like that. Okay, now there's an action scene, blah, 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 blah. And that's like, okay, now we're here, let's get the Red Guardian, let's get the mom character, let's start getting ready to go to the final place to fight, let's go and talk to Dreykov and do this side thing. Now let's go and fall and fight and everything. Okay, movie's done. It's kind of what I meant by the pacing was really weird, where like the first act was super fast paced, the second act basically went up to 15 minutes till the end, and then the third act was super fast again. The final battle with Taskmaster was kind of disappointing. I will say I called the twist probably about 10 minutes before it happened that was Dreykov's daughter. And I also called the part where Nat was going to break her nose so she could kill the guy. And, like, I like the idea that, like, it was a person from Natasha's past that she had to defeat. I don't care that it wasn't Tony Masters. I don't care that it was kind of like Taskmaster's supposed to not be redeemable and everything like that, but they made her redeemable. And I'm fine with that. I again, Star Wars is my favorite series. I believe anybody can be redeemable. And also, I mean, look at Loki. Anybody can be redeemable. And just like, I like that whole idea with Taskmaster, but the whole final fight with Taskmaster was way too short. And, I mean, it served its purpose. I remember thinking that, being like, okay, the fight was short, but it served its purpose. But we really didn't get to see as much of Taskmaster as we can with all the insane, like, moves and stuff. We really only saw... I was actually trying to figure out during the fight with Red Guardian and during the earlier fight, we only saw her mimic Captain America, Bucky, and Black Widow, and Black Panther. I mean, there could be more fighting styles that I just didn't pick up, but let me know in the comments below. But, like, the whole time I was stuck thinking, who uses a sword, though? I don't think we've really seen anybody use a sword in the MCU, besides Thor. But remember, this happened before Civil War, and also Thor Ragnarok happened where nobody knew what was going on, so Taskmaster can't learn from Thor if Thor's not being recorded to Earth. So, like, yeah, I was like, who uses a sword that Taskmaster is able to copy that? And, like, all this other stuff. Like, I love Taskmaster as a villain. Just in the MCU, they're okay. And it's going to be cool kind of maybe seeing her as an anti-hero in the future, possibly. But still, it's kind of like, why would we put in such a great character that's able to mimic everything and then only use them for about 2, maybe 3 fight scenes? And that's what kind of stunk about it. And I mean, they were kind of even playing her off kind of as like a Darth Vader-y sort of thing, or like, since Bad Batch is, I just watched Bad Batch today, a Crosshair sort of thing where like, she deserves her own landing thing. She's this creepy anime villain sort of thing with the intro, and it's like, yeah, then keep it as, like, actually, you know what? Perfect comparison. They played her off like Bucky in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Completely played her off like that. And I wish that the payoff would have been like that. Not 100% similar, but just like that parallel where Nat's trying to get to her, and she's still fighting, and she almost beats Natasha. And then Natasha's finally able to get to her, whether it's through that red spray thing, or she just, like, finally talks to her. Which, I mean, I get it, Dreykov is a bad man, terrible person, but when you have somebody like Thanos, weeping that he has to kill Gamora. That just Dragoth, I don't think he would ever like program his daughter, even if it was like, well, she's burned to a crisp and everything. I don't think that he would have done that. Because I mean, like, even when you have the baddest of bad not wanting to kill his daughter, and then you have this some Russian commie bad guy, I don't think he would do that. That didn't sit right for me. The other thing is, I saw somebody post on Facebook about Natasha's like power scaling being a little wonky, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what they mean by that before I saw the movie. And after I saw it, I get it. She takes a beating in this and doesn't really get affected that much. I mean, she's got some bruises, and they make the ibuprofen joke and stuff like that, but like, there's a point where she falls pretty darn far and hits a bunch of pipes and stuff like that and falls to the ground, and she just gets up and she's okay. And like, when 3 movies prior, 4 or 5 movies prior, whenever, no, 2 movies prior, sorry, Endgame, she falls and dies. I mean, I get it, like, that was a sacrificing play and stuff like that, but, like, you have her where she's, like, unbelievably falling multiple times and comes up unscathed, but 2 movies ago you had her fall and die. It kind of messes with the whole power scaling thing, and it makes her feel invincible in this movie. She had a lot of plot armor, and it kind of was like the whole Harry Potter of, we're grooming her to be a lamb for the slaughter later on sort of thing, of like, with the writing of, yeah, she's not going to die in this, don't worry, she's going to be fine. She's going to be fine until Endgame where she dies. And it's like, then why do you keep putting her in these near-death situations and like not even letting her get like a broken leg or a scratch or anything like that? The most hurt she got was when she had a spike in her back, and right after they take the spike out, she's fine. And I do want to address this, because I know if I don't say it, somebody in the comments is going to write a complete essay on why I'm wrong. I get it. She was trained to not feel pain. But still, there's a point for like, ow, that hurt, I'm not going to feel it, to I got stabbed in the back and I can barely move my arm and I'm getting beat up around me. There's a difference between that and just being able to take a punch and stuff like that. So let's rank the movie, then we'll talk about the post-credit scene. So I do give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. I do have to say, I'm fighting between giving it a 7 just because it's Marvel, but I really want to give it a 6 just because it's not as good as I thought it would be. And reintroducing the MCU back into the theaters, I mean, it was a solid movie to do that for, but it wasn't like, I feel like they should have probably done a different movie as the first one. And, I mean, with the lineup, the only one I could think of is Spider-Man No Way Home, but I understand why they put Black Widow first, because who would want to see somebody that they've never heard of, or a group that they've never heard of, over Black Widow after 2 years of no movies? And I get it, Black Widow was going to be the first one anyways, but they've relined up the TV show. I'm not surprised that they didn't reline up the movies. Because really, this could have fit in the MCU anywhere. Actually, it's better that fit after Falcon and the Winter Soldier and before Hawkeye. But other than that, it's kind of, it's weird that, like, they thought that they should keep this movie as the next one in line. Because, I mean, it's worth seeing, and it's great because it's Marvel, but it's not high tier. I'm going to be making a ranking Marvel movies soon, like I did with Star Wars, but I would want to say this is probably in like fifth to last, like after the first two Thor movies, The Incredible Hulk and Captain Marvel. I'm looking over at my MCU collection right now that's not over here. But yeah, I mean, like, I will rewatch it, but I don't think it's going to be through a out of order, let's just go and watch it, besides like when it comes out on Blu-ray and I just go and watch it on here. Because, like, I love the character of Black Widow. I love Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of her, and it's just sad that, like, for her final movie, it's just kind of mediocre in my eyes. Now, I get it. Some people might love it, and you have the right to your own opinion. I have the right to my own. But yeah, I do have to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Alright, let's talk about the post-credit scene. And this is why I'm happy that this came out after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I wonder almost if this was reshot to fit into that. But we get Julia Louis-Dreyfus again as Val. Already recruited Yelena, not trying to recruit her like she did John, and showing that Yelena's next target is Hawkeye. I have a whole theory video that I'm going to be making next month about why that's important. However, I just want to say I am very excited to probably see Yelena in Hawkeye. And just kind of playing off on that, and maybe Yelena realized that she was being lied to about that Natasha sacrificed her own life, not Clint killing her. And maybe she's like the main antagonist, or maybe Val's doing it just to recruit either Clint or Katie. But yeah, so the end credit scene was great setup for the rest, or the next probably few shows of the MCU or movies or whatever. I'm excited to see where else Val's going to be popping up, because from what it looks like, I don't think she's going to recruit the Mandarin and Shang-Chi. I don't think she's going to have anything to do with the Eternals. Obviously, she'll probably show up in Hawkeye, but I don't really see her in Quantumania either. But yeah, so that's the video review for Marvel's Black Widow 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. Follow me on all my social media down below. And make sure you guys have a great day. It's that nerd Ryan telling you, we're all superheroes.